The impact of social media on suicide risk in teens. The rise of social media has brought tremendous benefits to society. Easier connections with friends and family, platforms for self-expression, and access to endless streams of information and entertainment. However, like any tool, social media has a darker side, especially when it comes to vulnerable groups such as teenagers. Over the past decade, numerous studies and real-life tragedies have shed light on how social media can increase suicide risks among teens. To truly understand the connection, it's essential to dive deep into the emotional, psychological, and social dynamics at play. The pressure of perfection. Imagine you're a teenager scrolling through Instagram. Everyone seems to have perfect lives, flawless skin, expensive vacations, trendy clothes, and a constant flow of friends. But the truth is, most of these images are curated, filtered, and carefully staged to create an illusion of perfection. For teens who are still figuring out their identity, this constant comparison can feel suffocating. They might start asking themselves questions like, why isn't my life like this? Am I not good enough? Why don't I look like them? This comparison often leads to low self-esteem, feelings of inadequacy, and even body image issues. When these feelings spiral out of control, they can become a contributing factor to depression, a major risk factor for suicide. Cyberbullying, a new form of harassment. Unlike bullying in the past, which was often confined to school hours or specific settings, cyberbullying follows teens wherever they go. It could be a cruel comment on a TikTok video, a mean meme shared on Snapchat, or being excluded from a group chat. What makes cyberbullying especially harmful is its permanence and reach. A humiliating post can be shared with hundreds, even thousands in a matter of minutes. Victims often feel trapped, as there's no off switch to escape the harassment. Many teens are reluctant to report cyberbullying because of fear of retaliation or the stigma of being labeled as a snitch. The feelings of isolation and helplessness can grow so overwhelming that some see no way out, leading to tragic outcomes. The echo chamber of negative thoughts. Social media algorithms are designed to keep users engaged by showing them content similar to what they've interacted with before. For a teen struggling with mental health, this can create an echo chamber of negativity. For example, if a teen searches for content about depression or self-harm, they might be exposed to more of the same, including posts or forums that romanticize these struggles. Some teens even stumble upon dangerous suicide challenges or communities that encourage self-harm as a coping mechanism. Instead of finding support or professional resources, they get sucked into a cycle that worsens their mental state. The fear of missing out, FOMO. FOMO is another major stressor for teens on social media. Seeing friends hang out without them, attending parties they weren't invited to, or participating in trends they missed out on can amplify feelings of exclusion. For teens whose social lives are a cornerstone of their identity, FOMO can feel like rejection or failure. This constant fear of being left out often leads to anxiety, which, if left unchecked, can escalate into depression. Lack of sleep and its impact on mental health. Social media isn't just a mental burden. It can also affect physical health. Many teens stay up late scrolling through their feeds, replying to messages, or watching videos. The blue light from screens disrupts their sleep patterns, leading to insufficient rest. Sleep deprivation has a well-documented link to poor mental health. It makes it harder to regulate emotions, increases irritability, and exacerbates feelings of sadness or hopelessness. Over time, these effects can compound, making teens more vulnerable to suicidal thoughts. Social media validation and the like culture. Teens often measure their worth based on likes, comments, and shares. A post that gets little engagement can feel like a personal failure, while negative comments can cut deeply. This reliance on external validation can make them feel like their value is tied to their social media performance. When teens don't receive the validation they crave, they may feel invisible, unworthy, or unloved. These emotions, when left unaddressed, can lead to feelings of hopelessness or despair. 7. The role of isolation. Ironically, while social media is meant to connect people, It can often leave teens feeling more isolated. Instead of having face-to-face conversations or building deep, meaningful relationships, many rely on superficial online interactions. This lack of genuine connection can make teens feel lonely, even when they're constantly interacting with others online. Loneliness is a significant risk factor for suicide, especially in young people. What can be done? Addressing this issue requires a combined effort from parents, educators, tech companies, and teens themselves. Here are some potential solutions. 1. Open conversations. Parents and guardians should create a safe space for teens to talk about their experiences online. Asking open-ended questions like, "How does social media make you feel?" or "Have you ever seen something online that upset you?" can encourage honest dialogue. 2. Setting healthy boundaries. Limiting screen time, especially before bed, can improve sleep and reduce exposure to harmful content. Encouraging teens to take regular breaks from social media can also help them maintain a healthier perspective. Promoting media literacy, teaching teens to recognize curated content, filter bubbles, and the pitfalls of comparison can empower them to use social media more critically. 5. Holding tech companies accountable. Social media platforms have a responsibility to protect their users, especially young ones. Implementing stronger anti-cyberbullying measures, moderating harmful content, and providing mental health resources can make a significant difference. A call for awareness. The link between social media and suicide risk in teens is complex and multifaceted, but it's not insurmountable. By understanding the underlying issues and taking proactive steps, we can create a safer, more supportive environment for the next generation. It starts with awareness. It continues with action. Together, we can make sure that no teen feels like they're battling their struggles alone.